It is always draft season here at Rogue Football, and I'm fired up to talk about my top 5 wide receivers for the 2025 NFL Draft. We're in the first week of October here, and the college football season about halfway through. You've got some NFL teams starting to really fall down the rankings, teams with only one win. There's several of them out there, teams that might be looking towards the future, and that's exactly what we're doing here with this 2025 wide receiver class. We're going to run through every position group here, start getting into mock drafts in the next couple months. I'm really fired up for it. Hopefully y'all are too. If you enjoy the content here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So looking at this wide receiver class, it's not as strong at the top as it was last year. But last year was literally insane. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best receiver prospects you'll ever see. Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze, two guys that could easily be top wide receiver prospects in a given class. Then you look at Brian Thomas Jr., probably would be the top wide receiver prospect in the 2025 class. Keon Coleman, there's so many good receivers from last year's class. It really was like an all-timer at wide receiver. This class does not match up to that, but I still think it has a chance to be very, very impactful in year one and beyond. We're going to get into some honorable mention guys and then talk about my top 5. So Tez Johnson, the speedy, quick receiver, slot out of Oregon, is a dynamic playmaker who has good hands and plays bigger than he is. He's a smaller guy, but I think he has a chance to be a big-time slot star. Torrey Horton can kind of do it all for you out of Colorado State. This is a guy that has the length, the route running chops, the just polished receiving ability. Kyron Lacey has plenty of talent out of LSU. Xavier Restrepo at Miami, a guy that runs crisp routes, great hands. There's so many prospects to kind of fall in love with in this wide receiver class. Plenty of fun wide receivers to watch. Those are my honorable mention guys. Now it's time to get into this top 5. So we're going to count it down from 5 to 1 here. Emeka Egbuka, a guy a lot of people just kind of forget about, goes under the radar, has been a star at Ohio State for a long time, kind of one of those guys that many of them went back to Ohio State this past year that could have entered the 2024 NFL draft. Egbuka's one of them. So for me, he's like a slot/Z at the next level, a guy you can move around the formation a good bit. I don't think you're going to rely on him as a true X receiver in the NFL, but he has good size. He's a very good route runner, very strong hands. One of my favorite things about him is his ability to adjust to the ball in the air. He's not one of these 6'3", 6'5" receivers, but his ball skills, his ability to control his body and adjust to the football and attack it in the air, to me, is one of the things that makes him so special. But again, a very good route runner, can play physically, will immediately have NFL size to compete. And I think he's going to be a guy that can probably be a really, really good number 2 target in the NFL. If you use him properly, maybe even a number 1. I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown usage, that type of usage could suit him well at the next level. I think that could be a really underrated player here in the 2025 NFL draft. Somebody who I think should still be in the first round conversation. I think Isaiah Bond should also be in the first round conversation. Wide receiver out of Texas by way of Alabama. Isaiah Bond, he's a little undersized, right? Probably only about 180, maybe a little less, a little under 6 feet tall, but he has incredible speed to burn, like angle destroying speed. And not only does he have that speed, he knows how to tempo it. He knows how to throttle it up and down, and his ability to plant and go in the opposite direction, start and stop, it leaves defenders in the dust. And not only does he have all this athleticism and speed and can go up and get the football as well, legitimate hands and ball skills. He's not just one of these guys that you're really worried about, well, yes, he has the speed and quickness, but is he going to catch the ball when it gets to him? No, he's a legitimate receiver. And so I think that Isaiah Bond, again, you're going to want to move him around the formation, find ways to get the ball in his hands quickly, and then also attack vertically with him. I think that he is a very, very good receiver prospect entering this 2025 NFL draft. He's been very good for the Texas Longhorns after transferring from Alabama. Now, this top three is special to me. I don't think that they match up, again, with the top 3 from last year, Harrison Jr., Odunze, and Neighbors, but they'd be better than a lot of top 3s. They're a really good group here. And at 3, I do have Teteroa McMillan, who is basically tied with number 2 as well, Luther Burden. I have these guys right in the same range. They're not the same type of player. So you got to kind of pick your flavor here. Tetairoa McMillan, out of this top five, he's the real X receiver, the Monstar. And what makes him so special at 6'5" and over 210 pounds, he has legitimate quickness and flexibility and fluidity. He can throttle up and down. He can cut on a dime. And he has great hands, Velcro hands, catches everything thrown his way. I think he's going to be a star at the next level. Does remind me some of Drake London. They've got some real similar characteristics to their game. So I'm really excited about what Tetairoa McMillan can do at the next level. Nicknamed T-Mac, big Orlando Magic fan here as a sidebar there. So anybody with the nickname T-Mac, I'm going to have a keen interest in. There's no doubt about it. But I think he projects to be a true number one. True number one X receiver. And these guys do not grow on trees. They are not easy to come by. And so when you look at what type of impact he can have in the NFL, it's big. It's a big time impact. And I think that's a top 10 type of pick. And I think the next two guys are also top 10 types of picks. Again, Luther Burden and T-Mac, same range for me, same draft grade right now. Luther Burden, though, not the same player. He's going to align more in the slot, at least to start his career. A guy that has moved around the formation a lot at Missouri. And during his freshman year, he was almost just used as like a running back. They just gave him the ball a ton behind the line of scrimmage. They have expanded what he does for them quite a bit over the last couple years. Missouri not having the best season so far, but Luther Burden is doing a really good job. And what I love about him, just a hair under 6 feet tall, almost 210 pounds. So as a receiver at almost 210 pounds at that size, he's got a lot of strength, a lot of muscle mass, a lot of lower body strength, all the premium athletic traits that you could ask for as a receiver. The quickness, the start and stop ability, the twitch, can make guys miss in space, can run through arm tackles as well, has legitimate speed and explosiveness, and has very strong hands. Now, you want to continue to see him develop as a route runner. That's as much a product of the offense he's been in and the way they've wanted to use him as anything else. I think he has all the physical traits to be an offensive engine type of player at the next level, to be a guy you want to get the ball 10 times a game, whether it's schemed up touches or legitimate receiving targets down the field. From the slot position, from Z, I think he can also play X with his ability, but I think he's going to be a guy you want to move around the field a lot and get the ball in his hands as many times as you can per game, because he's got like that innate ability to just take a average play and turn it into something big. He really does have that, and I love that about him. And again, just kind of rare strength and physicality for someone as athletic as he is. At number one, I have Travis Hunter, and I know a lot of folks consider him a cornerback. I'm fine with whatever you want to do with him, because I think at the NFL level, he's going to be better at cornerback or receiver than he has been at college, because he's going to be more focused on one position in the NFL. Obviously, if he plays corner, you're probably going to want to get him the ball as a receiver at times, but purely as a receiver, Travis Hunter has incredibly rare twitch. Like, his ability to go from being completely stopped to gaining 2, 3, 4, 5 yards on you in a flash is special. His ball skills are special. He's only 5'11", about 185 pounds, so not the biggest guy. To be a number one receiver in the NFL at this size, not the most common type of build, but he's not a common player. He really isn't. His body control, ability to attack the football in the air, ability to play through contact at his size. He's a yak threat. He's just a natural. And I think he's the type of receiver that you would want to move all over the formation and get him the ball as many times as you can, and just let him eat. He can win deep. He can win intermediate. He can win with the ball in his hands. He is a natural route runner. I do think he has the ability to release off the line. I think you want to continue to develop that. But again, I think Travis Hunter, whether he's playing receiver or corner at the next level, is going to be better, because he's going to be more focused, A, and B, right now he's playing like over 100 snaps a game. It's insane what he's doing. at Colorado. It really is. And he's not going to be asked to do that in the NFL. I think he's going to be an absolute superstar for whichever team lands him and at whichever position you decide to put him in. But if you draft him as a receiver to help your quarterback out, you're going to be very happy with the results. So again, that's my top 5 right now in October, early October for the 2025 NFL Draft. At 5, Emeka Egbuka. At 4, Isaiah Bond. 3, Tedero McMillan. 2, Luther Burden. And T-Mac and Luther Burden really right there in the same range. And then Travis Hunter at number 1 for me. The top 3, I think, all should be considered in the top 10. 4 and 5, more right now for me. Fringe first round type players, and there's a bunch of guys behind them that are worth getting excited about as well, as we mentioned at the top. But I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me know what you think about this wide receiver class in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.